Well, if high gas prices and trauma at the pump isn't enough to wreck your day, then families in Tennessee are facing another shortage, and that is the baby formula shortage. Every parent's biggest fear, and I would say every grandparent's biggest fear, is that your child is not going to have enough to eat. You want them to be safe, you want them to be well nourished, and you feel so responsible for that. And my guest is a concerned mother from Gallatin, Tennessee. And she has gone to more stores in more towns, town after town, trying to find the baby formula that her precious little one needs. Wynter Balthrop, welcome to Unmuted. It is just heartbreaking to hear your story, but I have to tell you that I've been encouraged by the way you have championed this issue and the way you have stepped up. So tell our Unmuted audience a little bit about your experience in dealing with the baby formula shortage.
Yes, so I have an 8-month-old daughter who is on a special formula due to cow's milk sensitivity. One night we ran out of her formula. We had just enough for like a bottle or two, and we knew it wasn't going to be enough to get us through till morning. So we drove around Gallatin, went to various stores trying to find her formula and couldn't find it anywhere. It wasn't the first time that we had that issue. We had the issue earlier on in the year, and then it seemed to kind of die down, and we were having no problems finding her formula, but then we began having it again. So it was hard. We called a bunch of stores. We searched online as far as like 3 hours away, willing to even drive into the state of Kentucky to find her formula. We couldn't find anything that was available that evening that we could get for her. And so it was really discouraging for me, because I know I was going to have to give her something that I knew she couldn't tolerate so that she didn't go without, which she didn't understand. So that was definitely hard as her mom to know that that's what I was going to have to do.
And that must have been such a panic for the formula not to be available. So how long did it take you to come up with the formula that she could tolerate?
Yeah, so it was definitely a panic. I remember walking into that last store that we could check that was open that day, hoping and praying as I walked in that, I was going to walk in and it was going to be there. And I walked in and the shelves were completely empty. I mean, not just with her formula, but so many other formulas. And I just remember thinking to myself, don't cry in the middle of this Kroger, at least make it to the car, because I was just heartbroken and panicked. And so I got back out to the car and I broke down. And so thankfully we were able to find her formula online at a Target that wasn't open, because it was on Easter Sunday when we had this experience. So some stores were closed and they had just a few bottles in stock. So I was able to go ahead and place the order online for pickup the next day, and just hope and pray that by the time I got there to pick up my order at 8 a.m. when the stores open, that they didn't sell out before that, and that it wasn't some computer glitch, saying that they had so many in stock and they didn't. So I was blessed that the next day we were able to find a few bottles of the ready to feed formula, which lasts her about a day and a half per bottle. So I rushed there and got her some, and then, just shared my experience online, and just kind of how I felt, because I was just, really emotional about the whole situation, and I knew I wasn't the only mother suffering. And we were blessed to have family from all over the state begin looking for the formula and mailing it to us, and even some friends out of state mailed us some. So we were able to build up a small stock so we didn't have to worry.
Well, one of the things that, and being a mother and a grandmother and understanding that not every baby can use the same formula, as we've gone through this, I have talked to so many doctors and nurses and parents like you that have made that point, that we're so blessed that we have different formularies now that babies can take that help them get through some of these intricate little issues or allergies or intestinal digestive issues, and that it really is a panic button. So are you still having to search for this formula?
Yes, so we are still having to search. I've been, lucky enough to where when my post kind of went public through Fox News, I had tons of people reach out to me directly through social media offering to mail my daughter formula from all over. At that point in time, we were still having
So
family.
you have established your own supply chain.
Yes, I have. So I've had, thankfully we've had some sent in, and then I've had families still picking some up whenever they see it. But every time I go to a store, I can't help but go look and just see
Yeah.
if they have anything and what they have, so I can let other mothers know, hey, like this is what we have in stock at this store, and keep an eye out for what I know my friends need who are also having issues, not just here in Tennessee, but coast to coast. I mean, I have friends in different states who are also having this issue.
And what is your best advice for moms and grandmoms that are so anxious about this? Because I know it has struck such a nerve. And some of my friends who are grandmoms, Wynter, what they will say is they could never in a million years have imagined that we would be dealing with a situation like this. So, what is your best advice to some of these moms and grandmoms that are struggling?
Yeah, so I mean, I can agree with your friends. I never thought that this would be an issue either. It's you've never seen a shortage of baby formula. It's one of those things you just always think is going to be there, and now that it's not, it is definitely panic ridden. My best advice, though, I guess, would just be, to be on the lookout, and reach out to mothers and grandmothers and family in your local communities and friends to see, what they may need and what they don't need. And, if you go to the store, just kind of keep an eye out for it. And if you're able to, purchase a can or a bottle of the formula and donate it to them, I would highly recommend doing that. I think that that's the best thing we can do at this point is just stick together until this is resolved.
As you're talking to these moms, how does it make you feel and them feel to know that the administration knew that as far back as last fall that this was an issue? And in February, when we were at a 25% shortage, as you said, you knew it had gotten pretty bad, and then it got a little bit better, and then it got terrible, basically.
Yeah.
So, how does it make you feel that this just didn't get any attention?
I mean, it's absolutely heartbreaking to think that it didn't get any attention. I wasn't made aware that they had known about it, prior to time until just recently, but knowing that they knew that it was coming and that it was possibly going to get worse, and the fact that nothing was done, just honestly, I mean, it just kind of blows my mind. These are our nation's infants, and they're our top priority. They're our next generation. And so we need to do what we need to do to take care of them. So if we knew about it, why wasn't anything done ahead of time? Why does it take multiple mothers across the country, speaking out on their experiences for it to gain attention? It just shouldn't have taken all of that.
Well, you're right about that. And the letter that I sent over to the White House is still waiting for a written response. I'll let you know if I get one. Well, Wynter, thank you for your leadership on this issue. And in the heat of the moment, a terrible crisis that you were facing, you took the time to help build a community on Facebook that would work to address this issue, to raise awareness, and to help other mothers who were experiencing the distress that you and your family were experiencing. So we thank you for your leadership on that. And I thank you for joining us today on Unmuted. And to our audience, you can keep up with me at Marsha Blackburn or our website, blackburn.senate.gov. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.